I'm Shauna, and I'm the host of the Adelaide Cottage podcast. This is a podcast about knitting, sewing, hand-dyeing yarn, and a little bit of drop spindling here and there. So welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day to come and hang out with me. I have a little bit to show you today. I didn't get to podcast last week because I didn't feel like I had a lot to show you because I was basically monogamously knitting on one project, which was a test knit. So I will show you that in a minute. But today I do have that one finished object. I have only one work in progress knit-wise, but I have a few things that I want to knit that I'll talk to you about. Talk about the trailing Ivy KAL that starts April 1st, and a little bit of sewing that I've done, and a bit of stash enhancement. So first, if you'd like to follow me on Instagram or on Ravelry, my name there is Adelaide Cottage, and I have an Etsy shop named that as well. So I'm recording from Buffalo, New York. I'm showing spirit here with my t-shirt. And also, I'm going to announce the 1K follower giveaway winner, which was a contest on Instagram to celebrate 1,000 followers on Instagram and subscribers on YouTube. So thank you, thank you, thank you. That means so much to me that that you guys care about what I'm talking about. It confirms that people are enjoying what I'm doing. So I'm not just talking to a camera and nobody's watching. Okay, moving on. I am drinking coffee from my very favorite coffee shop, Tim Hortons. It's amazing. I think I've mentioned it in a previous podcast. I usually make it at home. I buy the ground coffee from the cafe and make it at home, but we lost power this morning. I woke up to no power, and is it hilarious that the first thing I think about or am concerned about is the fact that I cannot make coffee? It wasn't, our food's going to go bad in the refrigerator. It wasn't, I'm not going to be able to do my hair. It wasn't anything like that. It was, I can't make coffee today. So, my oldest is on spring break this week. My husband is working today, and my oldest, Aiden, and I took my youngest, Evan, to preschool. And then after we dropped him off, we went to Tim Hortons and got a coffee and breakfast. And then we went to Barnes & Noble and let him pick out a couple of books. He's really into Goosebumps books by R.L. Stine. And I was kind of browsing the crafty book section. And I didn't buy any books, but I did see on the way out, after we checked out, they had a rack of really cute Easter things. And on it was an Easter bag. It was kind of like a really tiny tote. And it was the theme of Peter Rabbit. And it had a cute little quote from the Peter Rabbit story on it. So the Peter Rabbit bunny was on the front, and on the back there was a little cotton ball tail on his butt that stuck out. And I was so tempted to get it. It was only $10, but I was thinking like, oh, it's not handmade, you know. And it's not that I don't buy handmade items. I do, but I'm just trying to buy more handmade items because I do appreciate the handmade aspect of it. So I walked away, and now I can't stop thinking about it. So I think after I podcast, before we go pick up Evan, Aiden and I are going to take a trip back to Barnes & Noble and buy it. It will be my little Easter gift to myself. So good. Okay. I have been doing a lot, or having a lot of family time. Enjoying family time, I should say. We have been doing puzzles together, which has been so much fun. 1,000-piece puzzles. We just kind of sit at the dining room table and just spend time together and put those together. We have gone to a really, really cool museum in Rochester, New York. It's a museum of play. It's called Strong Museum, and the kids just have a blast there. We're members there, so it's about an hour drive for us, but it's totally worth it. So we've done that. What else have we done? We visited family. Yesterday we went to Chuck E. Cheese, which is a really fun place for kids. A lot of arcade games and things like that. Watching movies together. I've just really been enjoying my son's spring break. So that's kind of what we've been up to. I also went to the Blake Shelton concert, which is, for those of you who don't live in the U.S. and might not know, is a really great country artist. I enjoy all types of music, but especially country music. It's one of my favorites. So yeah, Mariah Carey was actually my idol growing up. Back when she used to sing a lot of love ballads, I used to sing, and I always thought I would be a singer when I grew up. But it didn't happen that way. I didn't really pursue it. I wanted to be a nurse. But yeah, how did I get on this topic? You guys probably don't care who I like to listen to music-wise. But anyways, on to knitting. Like I said, I've been monogamously knitting and finally finished in a 2-week period the Alpine Shawl by Molly of a Homespun House. It's a new design that I was test knitting for her. And I think it came out so pretty. When did I finish it? Sunday, I believe. And blocked it Sunday night. But I knit this, I'm not going to talk a lot about it because the pattern isn't out yet, but I knit this out of, here it is, it's massive, but in such a good way. So it's knit out of Madeline Tosh Merino Light, and that's this dark purpley color, a Lazarin colorway, and then the lighter color is, let me see if I can get a good, there we go. The lighter color is Drops Alpaca Silk in the purple gray colorway. And at the bottom are these really cute pine trees. So this is a really big, nice, cozy shawl. And I'm going to save it for Christmas for my sister-in-law, because one of two of my sister-in-laws. She loves like plum colors and big cozy things, nothing too fancy. So I think that she'll really enjoy this. So I'm going to save it. I know Christmas is really far away, but shawls kind of take a while to knit, and I would like to make each of my sister-in-laws a shawl for Christmas this year. So I figured, why not give her this one? As soon as I picked the colors out, I kind of had her in mind. So it was totally knit for her, and I thought about her the entire time while I knit it. And I'm going to knit my other sister-in-law. I'm thinking of knitting her a Waiting for Rain shawl. Her favorite color is red. So I'm trying to figure out something. I would like to do contrast, the contrasting pattern where there's stripes and then the lace sections are another color. So I'm trying to think of a nice combination with red in it because she really likes it. So I don't know if it'll be like a red and cream. I don't really want it to look like a candy cane. So if you have any ideas, let me know. I don't know if I should do the whole thing red. I don't know. But I'm still in the middle of my Waiting for Rain shawl that I showed on the last podcast, I think. But I haven't touched it since then because, like I said, I've been working on this. So I didn't feel like you'd want to see it. Because it's the same, it hasn't changed. So that's that. But now I can start working on that again. And it's so funny. I was talking last time about how I used to be a monogamous knitter. I only had one project on my needles. And I changed that when I started podcasting because I wanted to have more to show you. I wanted to try different yarns all at the same time. Now that I'm watching more podcasts, I get inspiration and I want to cast on all the things. So I've had multiple projects on my needles lately. And while I was test knitting that shawl, I was just like, although I love the knit, it's a beautiful, very relaxing pattern, memorizable, everything. I was like, oh, I can't wait to work on my Waiting for Rain shawl. I can't wait to knit a Bonbon bunny, which I'll show you in a minute. All these things were going through my head, things I wanted to knit. So as soon as I finished that and started blocking it, I'm like, yay! I get to knit whatever I want again. So yeah, that's fun. So that is my alpine shawl. I have one whip, one other whip, my Cozy Memories blanket I haven't touched, my Waiting for Rain shawl I haven't touched, my new socks I haven't touched. So like I said, I just kind of finished the shawl on Sunday or Monday, so I've been working on a Bonbon bunny. I would like to make 2 bunnies before Easter, which is Sunday, as you might already know, one for each of my sons. I was inspired to knit this crazy looking bunny by Jilly, who is Vegan Jilly on Instagram and Ravelry, I believe, and has the Knitting Broomsticks podcast, which I really enjoy. She is just a pleasure to watch. She makes me laugh. So she has knit quite a few of these bunnies, and I thought they were so cute. So I went and bought the pattern by Susan Claudino, and it's being housed in my Little Mermaid project bag. Part of my stash enhancement is I went ahead and bought from Gnome Acres during their update the Bad Bunny colorway in their squishy base, which is such a cool colorway. It's usually not me because I'm more into softer colors, nothing this bright and contrasty, but I really like it for some reason. I think it's cool, especially for a boy or a girl, but it's definitely not, there's pinks in it and everything, but I feel like it's still an awesome color for a boy's little toy. So super cool. Here's the label. I received this really fast as well. Here's Gnome Acres. It's 100% superwash merino in the squishy gnome base, like I said. And their branding is just so cool. You get 218 yards, and it even has a little born on date when they dyed the yarn. So cute. Okay, so I think this is only my second toy that I've knit. What other one did I knit? You know what? It wasn't even a toy. The only other thing I've knit that wasn't an accessory or a garment to wear was a Bluebird of Happiness. So this is kind of my first time, and the pattern is very easy to follow. So here's the picture of what it will look like. Let's see. For those of you who haven't seen it, it's a really floppy bunny, and then you get safety eyes to put on, and then it's got a little cottontail. And Gnome Acres, even though I have my own white fingering yarn, this was only $1. They had 10 yards of a sock mini skein, and it's called Bunny Butt. So even though I have white yarn, this was a must-have. I had to get it. And then we went and picked out the eyes. The boys and I did at Joann Fabrics the other day. And they picked, it's hard to see. There we go. Just a brown eye with the black pupil. All right, so you guys just want to see the project. I'm knitting this on size 5 Carbons interchangeables. Using the magic loop method, of course. And I'll show you what I have done so far. Oh, Aiden's just yelling that we lost power again. Okay, buddy. All right. It's okay. Sorry, that stinks, but at least I have coffee. Okay, so I'm on my first bunny. I have a lot of work to do, you guys. I have both feet done for the first bunny. I love them. I think this yarn knits up so cool. And I have both arms done. Arms and hands, I should say. I just have to weave in the ends. They're kind of hanging all over the place. But there's the little arms and hands. So yeah, that's what I have done so far. So I'm hoping to finish this bunny by tomorrow night so that I can get started on the next one because we don't have much time left. The boys already know that I'm making them for them. They're actually helping me stuff the pieces, which is kind of cool to see it come to life like that. So yeah, that's my only whip. I'm sorry if I'm boring, but I've been busy. I'm making stuff. So I wanted to mention my first knit along that I mentioned last week is the Trailing Ivy shawl pattern by Alana Dacos. And she's offering a 20% off pattern discount using the coupon code TIKAL, and that runs through May 1st. So the knit along goes April 1st through May 31st. The coupon code is good until May 1st. So I picked out my yarn. And this is the picture of it. I printed it in black and white because I don't know why. I just felt like it. But it's so pretty for the spring and summer. This uses a DK weight, approximately 550 yards. Yeah, so, and I was asked by a couple of people if I'm dyeing up my own yarn for this. And I just ordered and received yesterday, actually, some DK weight yarn because I've been kind of testing out a few and haven't really fallen in love with any, but the ones that I received yesterday I totally love. Very soft. You get good yardage with each skein. So, but I only ordered 10 because I didn't have this in mind. I didn't have the idea to dye yarn for this KAL, which would have been fun. Some nice spring colors, but so I will have 10 available that I'll probably dye up in like tonals. And hopefully by the next podcast I'll be able to show you. So if and when I do have them, I'll put them in the shop and I'll put a notification on Instagram for you. So if any of you would like to purchase my hand-dyed yarn for this KAL, you're more than welcome to. But my yarn is, when we were in New York City for one of my doctor's appointments, we went to, I forgot the name of the yarn store, but we went to a yarn store there. It was kind of near Central Park, and I picked up 2 skeins of the Woolen Rabbit yarn. And this is the Sporty Biffle colorway. And it's a sport weight yarn, but I'm going to use it anyways, just so it's a little bit lighter for the spring and summer. So it's 100% BFL, 275 yards. And it's Daddy Steelbucks colorway, I'm sorry. Daddy Steelbucks colorway Sporty Biffle base. So it's just a really pretty tonal gray color. But both skeins were not from the same dye lot. And it's very obvious, so I'm going to have to switch. See, I'm going to have to switch every couple of rows, but that's okay. But this is what I'm using, a nice pretty gray that will go with a lot of outfits. And yeah, so my yarn is ready. I'm ready to go. And I ordered one of the most coolest prizes for this KAL. And I'm not going to show you what it is yet, because it isn't here yet. but it's definitely a very nice prize. I was ordering one for myself, and I was like, you know what? I am in the giving kind of mood, and I'm gonna order a second one to give away for the KAL. Whoever wins this KAL. So if you're interested in signing up, just go to the Ravelry group, Adelaide Cottage, and there's a thread for KAL chatter, and then there's a thread for finished object pictures that will open on April 1st. So the chatter thread is open now. You can kind of go and see what yarns other people are using and post your ideas and things like that. So that's going to be fun. Okay, what else do we have? I want to show you the spinning that I did. I spun up on my drop spindle a Rolag by Nicole C. Mendez. The last one that I showed you, it was my first time spinning with the drop spindle, and it was all over the place, meaning it went from lace weight to super bulky. I just couldn't get my drafting right. But I think this one is a little bit better. It's not great yet, but it's definitely getting better. So it's still too thick to put into my Cozy Memories blanket. See, there's a lot of really thick parts. But I like it. It's really fun. I decided that I am going to buy a spinning wheel. I'm looking at the Ashford Traveler spinning wheel. It comes with a built-in lazy Kate, and it's double treadle. There's nowhere in my neighborhood to go and kind of test spinning wheels out, unfortunately. So I kind of have to just go on reviews. I do like the one that I just mentioned because of the size. It's not huge, so it will go nicely in my craft room. I don't want it to take up too much space. And I wanted sort of the old-fashioned look of a spinning wheel. I looked at some of the other ones, and they just looked a little bit too modern for my taste. They are beautiful, but I just wanted it to look like one of those old-fashioned spinning wheels, but have it be new. Because I don't know enough about them to purchase a used one. I wouldn't know if all the pieces were there. I wouldn't know if something isn't working properly. So my plan is to purchase a new one, probably from Paradise Fibers, because they offer free shipping and you get a few extra goodies in there. And take the Craftsy class on learning to spin. So I'll probably be purchasing that in the next few weeks, and I'm really super excited. I love my drop spindle, but I would like to be able to spin enough to knit garments like shawls and sweaters and things. So yeah. Since I loved spinning this so much, I caught an update from Fondant Fiber, Deb of Fondant Fiber, and I bought a couple of things. I'm sorry for the crinkling. So I personally love the crinkling when I hear it on other podcasts, but I do know that it bothers some people. So Deb is just such a sweetheart. Get this cute little stitch marker, the little handmade hand on it. Tea, black currant tea. And I ordered this, and it's so funny because I was watching Isabel of the Fluffy Fibers podcast, who I adore, and she showed this same item that she purchased, the same exact thing, and I was like, oh my gosh, I should have bought that. I had it in my cart when I was shopping on Fondant Fiber's website, and I should have just gotten it. And I remember thinking, I had this in my cart. This is the Superwash Merino and Nylon Comb Top in the French Fields colorway. And it is just beautiful. I feel like the sun is, there we go. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I just want to sleep on it. So I had this in my cart, like I said, and I remember thinking, why would I buy that now? I'm not going to spin up this much fiber on my drop spindle in any appropriate amount of time, at least. So I thought I took it out of my cart and just thought, you know, I'll just buy this when my wheel comes and whatever, but, oh, and it smells good too. I did buy it. And I'm so happy I did because I love the colors. It's like an evergreen with purple, different shades of purple. It's really pretty. So I purchased that and these little Rolags, which it's Falkland, Merino, Silk, and Pink Sparkle. Hand-carded Rolags in the Jillian colorway. You get 120 grams. So this would definitely, all spun up, I would be able to knit something like a shawl. But I just love the colors. You can kind of see the pink sparkle in there. Or socks, actually. I think I would knit socks with this because I don't know how a pink sparkle would look in a shawl. So this will become socks one day, I think. And then Deb was so sweet and included something for one of you guys. So she sent these beautiful fuzzlings in the Maxine colorway. There we go. Along with a little stitch marker. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous colors. And this is Merino and Silk fuzzlings. It looks like 100 grams. So that was so sweet, Deb. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. And you could just see like, there's a little bit of like aqua, minty green, pink, white, gray. Very pretty. So I am going to save this for now and think about, because I know you're not all spinners, and I don't want to just do a general, like anything giveaway and give it to somebody who doesn't spin. So I think I'm gonna think something up that only spinners would care to enter, and you can possibly win it for yourself. So that's a future prize, which is super, super cool. And stash enhancement, it was that No Makers Bad Bunny, the fondant fiber from Deb, and I also got my monthly Jimmy Bean's Wool beanie bag. So this month we received some wool wash, removable stitch markers, and these 4 little samples of yarn in really pretty orangey brown, yellowy, mustardy colors. So yeah, I'll probably knit these into my blanket, all these little scraps that I get. And it's really nice because the last time I showed this, each little cake comes with a little note inside that tells you what kind of yarn it is. And last time I was like unfolding it from each one and trying to read, and it took forever on the podcast. So I noticed this last bag that I received, it tells you exactly what's in there, what kind of yarn it is, and a little bit of a description. So it's nice because you can try yarns that you might not have purchased normally. And this is $10 a month US, and it includes shipping, and they kind of surprise you every month. And there was something else included too. It wasn't just the soak and stitch markers, but I can't remember what it was. It might have been a tape measure. Whatever it was, I shoved it in one of my knitting bags because I knew I would use it. So yeah, that's exciting. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to show you some sewing, and then I'll announce the giveaway winner, and then a little bit of a shop update at the end. So I have been wanting to sew a garment. I've never sewn a garment before, as I've mentioned. And Isabella Fluffy Fibers podcast is doing a cute dress sew along, which is basically you just knit any cute dress that you would like that you could wear in spring or summer. So, and she's got a group on Ravelry, and there's a thread for it, and you can kind of see what everybody's sewing up, what patterns they're using, what fabrics. It's really, really fun. So she extended the deadline, which I was so happy because I did not start it until Monday night, I think. Yeah. And I didn't think I was going to be able to participate. So I am donating a prize for this sew along. It's like an antique vintage sewing machine themed project bag, like a large one to kind of keep your sewing items in, or fabrics or whatever, and a pattern, a simplicity pattern that Isabel has sewn up in the past, and it's kind of a versatile dress, and she thought that everybody would really like it. So I'm donating that. So if I do win a prize for the sew along, I'm going to say just redraw for somebody else. I'm just participating to kind of be a part of it and have fun. So anyhow, I decided to sew the washi dress it's a made by Ray sewing pattern. Ray Hoekstra, I believe is how you say it. And here's the picture. Super cute. And it has pockets. Okay, so dresses with pockets have my heart, honestly. And there's a way that you can make this into a tunic, which I love and plan to do. And there's a way to make this into a maxi dress, which I also love and plan to do. I love maxi dresses with all my heart. And the problem that I have is the maxi dresses that I have in my closet that I've purchased, they don't really fit me anymore, my body style. They're very low cut, with really thin spaghetti straps, and I don't know, I just don't feel comfortable in that type of thing anymore, especially after breastfeeding 2 children, and so yeah, but these are the different things you can do with it. And then to make a maxi, she gives a tutorial on her website. So yeah, and then this fabric is like a washi tape design, and I couldn't find this exact one, but I found something similar. I knew I wanted something colorful because usually I play it safe and wear solid colors or neutral, I don't know, natural designs, nothing too geometric, nothing too modern. But I know I wanted to change it up a little bit and make something colorful. So I decided to get this fabric by, my dress just fell on the floor. It's called Jax by Erin McMorris. And this is the fabric. So I was concerned that it's white. I wasn't even thinking when I purchased it. I purchased 3 yards, which is what's recommended for the size that I sewed. I washed it and dried it like you're supposed to, and I was just looking at it after ironing it, and I'm like, it's white, it's going to be see-through. And I don't know how to line things yet. I'm going to have to learn how to do that. But I made it anyways, and I just plan on wearing a slip underneath. So here it is. And I did this all in one day, you guys. So it is totally, I just love it. I am going to sew all the things now. This is going to be kind of hard to show you. I still have to finish it, okay? So in one day, I washed and dried the fabric, ironed it, cut the pattern pieces out. What I did was I traced the pattern pieces in the size that I'm sewing now for myself. I traced them onto tracing paper. I traced all the markings onto the tracing paper so that I didn't have to ruin the actual paper pattern, because it's pricey. It was like $18, I think, US, which totally worth it. Absolutely worth it. But I didn't want to cut it into pieces and take the chance of losing a piece, and I want to be able to make it again. So I was trying to find a good way to save your pattern pieces, and I read to trace them on tracing paper, and then you can even preserve the tracing paper by ironing on some interfacing and then just hanging it on like a pant hanger. So that's what I'm going to do. I sewed the large size for myself right now because prior to my surgery, my doctor put me on a high dose of steroids. I can't remember if I told you this or not. And I gained 40 pounds from the steroids. I developed Cushing syndrome. If you haven't heard of it, Google it. That's what I look like. It was terrible. That was worse for me than the actual surgery pain, I think. Just my body image and the way that it changed. So I've lost some, but I'm still not my normal small, medium size. So I cut out the pieces for the large. I sewed this up, and it's a little bit too loose on me from the waist down. It fits on the top, but it's loose on the bottom. So I still have to finish the sleeves. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. Oh, there we go. So there are cap sleeves that come to about here that I have to sew on. And it's got some pleating right here. You can see it. And there's pockets. I feel like the camera's blowing it out. It is because it's white, but there's pockets. So cute. And I have to hem the bottom. So on the back, there's supposed to be shirring. I think that's how you say it. S-H-I-R-R-I-N-G. I don't think it's shearing. But anyhow, it calls for elastic thread. And what you do is you manually wind your bobbin with elastic thread, and then your spool on the top has regular thread in it. And it's supposed to, after you sew a couple of rows, it's supposed to gather your fabric and be stretchy, kind of like if you've ever seen like a tube top, just really tight gatherings. And I think it's because I used a bobbin that's not specifically for my machine. It's kind of a universal one, because it was kind of flopping around in there a little bit. But this didn't come out the way it was supposed to. It kind of, the elastic thread spaghettied in the back and was just all mingled instead of running straight across. So you're supposed to sew however many rows the pattern says, and then blast it with some steam from the iron on both sides, and it tightens it up even more. I didn't quite get the shirring that I was supposed to get. I got a little bit, but it's supposed to tighten the back a little bit for you. So I think that's why this is still pretty big on me. But I can alter it. I can go inside here and just tighten the seams, cut some fabric out. But we'll see. I think this will be really cute with a cardigan over it, like a lightweight cardigan. See if I could hold it back so you can see more of it. Not really. But yeah, I really like it. So I'm probably going to finish the sleeves today and just finish it up, all the detail work. There's some, we put some bias tape around the arms, I believe it calls for, so I went and purchased that. And yeah, I really like it. And I think it's colorful and cute and summery. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm proud of myself that I finally just did it, and I'm encouraging any of you who are afraid to sew to just do it because it's so much fun. And I love the fact that I made that, and I'm going to fix it so that it fits my body the right way. And it's not expensive. If you get fabric on sale, it's to get a dress, you can make that for maybe $10 or $15 or $20 US with good fabric. So yes, awesome, super exciting. So that's sewing. And then I was going through some old totes of mine and found these linens from my grandma. And I remember, for those of you who didn't catch the first episode, the name of my Etsy shop, Adelaide Cottage, and the podcast is because we used to have a family cottage on Adelaide Street in Fort Erie, Ontario in Canada. And I remember these linens on the beds in our cottage. And I used to lay on them quite often, and they're really, really special. And I was just looking at this huge tote of beautiful, special fabric, thinking, I'm never going to put this on our bed. It's just not our style. I should really just make project bags out of it because I will get a lot of use out of them. So there's two of these, so I can make a front and a back. But it's like a champagne silk with these embroidered flowers. So I thought that would be cute. What do you guys think? I don't know. And then there's also this pink one that I have two of. It's like on a cream vanilla colored background silk. Just reminds me of my grandma, and it smells like her. It smells like the cottage. It's amazing how many years have passed since we've had that cottage. Oh my goodness. I think it was in 2001 or 2002. So like 14 years have gone by, and these have been just in a tote. And it still smells like the cottage. Very strong smell. She used a lot of mothballs, so that's probably what I'm smelling. She loved her mothballs. Okay, giveaway winner, and then I'll do a shop update and I'll let you go. Like I said, this is for the 1K follower giveaway. And this person is winning these 2 balls of Knit Picks Felici yarn in the Tea Party colorway. Fingering weight, superwash merino, and nylon. There's 50 grams in each. This really cute knitting journal, which I use to record my Cozy Memory blanket squares. It's got really pretty craft paper inside. And this will untie as well so that you can open it more as the book starts to get thicker. And this really cute fabric washi tape to match, to kind of tape your yarn inside of it. So the winner of this giveaway is, there were 141 entries, and I used random.org and got post number 48, which is Kay. who is Morning Thaw Knits on Instagram and Morning Thaw on Ravelry. So Kay, congratulations, and just either send me a direct message on Instagram or message me on Ravelry and give me your full name and address and I'll mail this out to you. So that is super exciting. Okay, so for a shop update, I have a few project bags in there. There's this one, which is totally my colors. I hope you can see that good. It's a very light gray with like lavender, lilac-y dots with the gray canvas bottom. And then the inside is, and what I like about these is you can fold them over while you're working on your project and kind of see both. The inside is this kind of scroll design. And like I said, you can completely reverse it and okay, so this is the medium size. I made the really big ones, which is the large size, previously. And I also made small ones, but I really like this middle size because it's a nice size for socks and a shawl. And the larger ones are good for like sweater projects. So that's how big it is. And this is just a ball of yarn to give you kind of a size comparison. So I have that one, a couple of those. I have this one, which is very fun and pretty for springtime. And the inside is sparkly dots in yellow. And there's a nice boxed bottom, which gives you lots of room inside. And then this very popular jar/baking fabric that a lot of you have shown love with. Here, let's see. And then the inside are these mason jars with flowers in them. I love this fabric. So yeah, there's that. And then I also made one patchwork one, which is a zipper wedge. And it has like a peachy vanilla interior to match the outside. So this fabric here is a vintage fabric that I found at a thrift store actually and used it to make this patchwork bag. So I really like this. I was tempted to keep it, but I put it in my shop for one of you. So that's that. And then I am going to be carrying more yarn in my shop, which I'm very excited about. So in the shop right now, I have a few tonal tweed yarns. So I have this one, which is Tiny Dancer. This one is Pistachio. And this one is Twilight. And like I said, I'm going to carry a DK base now. My Marion fingering base, which is a high twist, tweed, and which I call Donegal base. And I also purchased some fingering yarn with golden stellina, which is very pretty, and that came yesterday as well. So I ordered that early last week, or the middle of last week, I can't remember, and I got it yesterday. So I love it. I can't wait to dye some yarn on those bases. So yeah, I'm going to carry the 2 fingering bases. Some parts of the year I'll carry my Cecilia base, which is non-superwash merino and silk blend. Probably in the summer months I'll carry that again. and I'll have the DK, and then I plan to get a sport weight, I think. And possibly single ply, because like I said on my last podcast, I am loving knitting with the single ply yarn. The Madelinetosh that I used for the alpine shawl was single ply, and that was the first time knitting with it, and I fell in love. But I'm just going to show you some of my colorways that will be available in the yarn that I received. And I'm going to dye up some of this pink lemonade. Let's see. Here we go. On the golden stellina, which I think will be super pretty. This is a very popular colorway. This is my Candy Crush. This is Sailor's Delight. Here we go. And this was the yarn that was included in the Walking Dead kits that I made a few weeks ago and sold out of. But I wrote down the yarn recipe, and I think it turned out really cool. I reskeined this, but this is how it looks reskeined. And this is called Woodbury, which is Walking Dead inspired, like I said. So it's like all different shades of gray with some red and black splotches in there. Or not black, but like a dark gray. I think this would be really cool for socks. So yeah, I think I will, and I'm going to kind of experiment a little bit with some new colorways this week. So the next podcast, I'll show you what I dyed, what's going to be available in the shop, and I'm hoping to get some more bags sewn up this week. So yeah, that's all I have to show you this week. Thank you so much for joining me and for choosing to spend your time with me. I do appreciate it very much. And what's today, Thursday? Yes. We're hosting Easter at our house this year, which is super fun. We have dinner, of course. We do an Easter egg hunt for all the kids because there are 7 grandchildren that come over, well, cousins to my children. But Jason's parents are the grandparents of 7, so we do an Easter egg hunt, and we do a piñata, and we just have a really nice time spending time together. My mother-in-law makes homemade pierogies, which are delicious, and I make a ham, and I'll just be eating the pierogies this year, though. So, yes, I hope for any of you that celebrate Easter, I hope you have a lovely day. Remember the meaning of it, and just spend some quality time with your families, and have a beautiful week ahead, and I hope to catch up with you late next week.